Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, January 19, 2023. The Financial Services Commission, FSC, has committed to making full public disclosure of the outcome of investigations and other interventions into reports of alleged fraud at investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. Executive Director Everton McFarlane gave this undertaking during a press conference yesterday. Mr. McFarlane says the FSC has taken several steps to address the matter, which was first reported by SSL on January 10 and the receipt of an independent report on January 11. Measures taken include contacting law enforcement agencies with relevant jurisdiction to determine an appropriate response, and issuing directions restraining SSL from conducting transactions on its own behalf or that of clients without the FSC's approval.
The response was aimed at providing the FSC with a mechanism to have daily and indeed intradaily insight into the affairs of the entity, which would assist us and the entity in managing itself concurrent with the investigations.
The agency also initiated steps to procure the services of a special auditor, Ken Tomlinson, to act as temporary manager for SSL on January 17. Mr. McFarlane says a wide-scale investigation is also ongoing, which is spearheaded by the Financial Investigations Division.
The FSC will continue to collaborate as necessary with law enforcement in this regard. And in addition, the work of the temporary manager will be proceeding to enable the FSC to determine a suitable plan of action to continue to protect the interests of all clients of the entity, while also overseeing the day-to-day affairs of the entity to address current client needs in an orderly and fair way.
In the meantime, the Bank of Jamaica BOJ says it's working with deposit-taking institutions to upgrade and strengthen their internal controls. This, it says, will heighten the sector's ability to detect and prevent fraud. The BOJ also pledged to continue its close monitoring of the financial sector to ensure soundness and stability in the island's financial system. In a release, the central bank expressed concern on alleged fraud involving financial institutions. According to the BOJ, it's worried that these developments have the potential to negatively affect confidence in the country's financial system. The BOJ says it maintains a rigorous regulatory oversight of the deposit-taking institutions it supervises, which are commercial banks, building societies, and the country's sole merchant bank. The rate of inflation for December 2022 decreased by 0.9 percentage points to 9.4% when compared to November 2022. The figures were released by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, during its virtual quarterly media briefing on Tuesday. Director General Carol Coy says the December 2022 Consumer Price Index, CPI, recorded a slight decline, coming out at 127.9 compared to 128 for the previous month.
This movement was mainly influenced by a 1% decline in the index for the heaviest weighted division, food and non-alcoholic beverages, and a 0.9% fall in the index for the transport division.
The inflation rate, according to Statin, was however tempered by increases in the index for restaurants and accommodation services, which went up by 3.4%.
And this was mainly impacted by increased prices for meals consumed away from home, and housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels up by 0.7%, due mainly to increases in the rates for electricity, water, and sewage.
Ms. Coy says the December 2022 inflation rate represents an increase on the outturn recorded 12 months earlier. Statin advises that the 2022-23 fiscal year-to-date inflation rate is 6.2%. Meanwhile, Statin is reporting that most of the administrative process-related issues affecting the 2022 population and housing census's initial phase have been resolved. The census commenced last September and was slated for completion within 3 months. The exercise was, however, extended into the first quarter of this year to ensure maximum coverage of the Jamaican population and is now scheduled to conclude in March. Director General Carol Coy says one of the issues being addressed is the recruitment of census takers. Statin targeted the recruitment of some 7,000 field officers. However, approximately 4,800 are currently engaged. Further to this, Ms. Coy says several census takers have also opted out of the job for varying reasons.
Statin is therefore redoubling its efforts with targeted recruitment, training and onboarding of census takers in specific communities that currently have shortfalls, as we seek to identify candidates that are best suited to perform the tasks required until everyone is counted. To support the continuation of the census, Statin will also increase the census communication awareness campaign to remind persons about the importance of the census and to encourage everyone to participate.
Statin says it will continue to work with various groups, including community associations, justices of the peace, municipal corporations, strata bodies, faith-based communities, and private sector organizations. This is to ensure maximum participation of citizens. Farmers in 6 high-producing parishes will now have access to tractor services to improve operations on their farms. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, on Tuesday received 6 new farm tractors valued at over $49 million from the Ministry of Agriculture. They will serve parishes such as St. Thomas, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Catherine. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says the tractors will be available to RADA registered farmers at a discounted rate.
Providing the farmers with equipment like these rubber wheel tractors is not a luxury, it is a necessity, because food security is a priority for every single Jamaican.
Minister Charles advised farmers to use due diligence when using the services provided and to do their preliminary basic land preparation before using the tractor service.
I am reliably informed, Jamaica, that our onion farmers of Yallas and Plantain Garden River in St. Thomas will be benefiting. I'm informed that the Irish potato farmers in Guys Hill, St. Catherine, with Miss Ruth Barrett, will be benefiting. St. Anne as well. Farmers in the vegetable production belt of Bog Hole in Clarendon, all are among those who will be welcoming this equipment.
And finally, local businesses across various sectors will be exposed to new buyers in the Guyanese market as part of the second ministerial trade mission to the country. The mission, which will be led by the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, is scheduled to take place from January 23 to 28. Minister Hill said the delegation comprises over 45 companies and 60 individuals, including public and private sector companies. At a recent JIS think tank, the minister said the entities range from construction, technology, hospitality, banking, and financial, among others.
We're going back to make sure we cement those original arrangements that we made. Guyana and Jamaica will build a very, and I believe, formidable business and commercial and even broader political arrangements.
The mission follows the one made in October 2022. Acting President of Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO, Shalette Cox, says a few companies that participated in that mission are already realizing success.
There are also companies that went on the first mission that are busily making inroads with their partners in Guyana and that have made several trips to Guyana since then. And I know that a few of those companies have some announcements to make in the coming months.
The upcoming trade mission aims to establish more business relationships between Jamaica and Guyana, as well as to secure export contracts in both goods and services. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.